Company, more Mito, we always like to give our disclaimer. The FDA disclaimer says these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The products discussed is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The information is intended for general information purpose only. It is not intended as a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment of disease. A testimonial disclaimer: no one was compensated for giving a testimonial. All testimonials are the opinions of those individuals and may not be the result that everyone gets. So, ladies and gentlemen, the privilege is mine to introduce to you at this time the professor himself, Professor Don L. Major, BA, BSc, MBA, ABD. He's a researcher, writer, newspaper columnist, senior manager, business executive, entrepreneur, lecturer, motivational speaker, ordained elder, lay preacher, lifelong student. He's married, has three sons and grandchildren. He hails from the amazing country of Bahamas. Professor Major's mission is to transform lives by being a channel of God's blessing. We are happy to have Professor Major to be a part of our presentation this evening. I hand over to you, Professor Major. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Thank you.
I have a news flash for you. In case you didn't get the memo, ladies and gentlemen, mankind was meant to live forever. The creator, the manufacturer, God never meant for man to die. That's why he placed in the Garden of Eden, with the first two people that he created, a tree of life. That tree of life, had they been obedient and faithful, would have been the means of ensuring that they lived forever as immortal beings. Ladies and gentlemen, that ought to inform you that God's plan for your life far exceeds the circumstances of your day. That's why he says, beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, just as your soul prospers. That's why our founders and CEO could emphatically state, today, too many people are dying from sickness and disease. I want more people to die from old age. That's great. But when you get old, don't you want to be able to maintain your independence, your dignity, your mobility, your right mind? Of course you do. And that's why the topic of the company Saturday call and Monday call is based on a theme that says how to live well with dignity, vitality, mobility, and grace. And that also means, of course, living pain-free. Disease is not something that any of us would like to have. Disease really means that the body is not working at optimum level, the way it is meant to work by the creator, by the manufacturer. Let's look at that for a moment. The human body is arguably the most complex organism on the planet. Medical science researchers have already completely affirmed and continually affirms the biblical description of mankind, fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm sure you're familiar with that text as found in Psalms 139. But here's the thing. Science is continually showing to us, based, for example, on that slide you see on the screen before you, that we are a very complex organism made of many different parts, working parts. And that means that just like any machine, those working parts can fall into disrepair, they can malfunction, and also they are subject to wear and tear.
Am I the only one not hearing you, Professor? Is the mic open?
I'm not hearing him either.
For some reason, the mic was muted.
Yeah, yes. It was muted for
My
a few
apologies
minutes.
for that.
It was muted for a minute. Go ahead again for me.
Okay, we're talking about the human body and how the human body is structured. We should all remember from our grade school that the basic unit of the body is called a cell, as you see from your slide on the screen in front of you. The cell is considered the building blocks of the body. Just as you use blocks to build a building, so the cells are used to build this multicellular structure called the human body. There are at least 200 different kinds of cells, each of different size, different shapes, different colors, and they are specialized. Each have their own unique function so that they all work together to keep the body operating efficiently and at optimal level. As a reminder, a cell has three main parts: the cell membrane, the nucleus, and the cytoplasm. I won't go into that because you will hear more about that later. Additionally, inside of each cell, there are some things that are called organelles, simply tiny organs. There are quite a number of them, but the one that's most important for us and that we're going to talk about today is called the mitochondria. Every single cell, except for mature red blood cells, are powered by this thing called the mitochondria. The mitochondria, therefore, is in the power plant or the battery of the cell. It is already established that when these mitochondria go into decline or fall into disrepair, the body is in trouble. The aging process begins to speed up. Now, therefore, every sickness, every disease is therefore based on the malfunction or the disrepair of these things that are called the mitochondria. Ladies and gentlemen, think of the automobile. With every new automobile, the manufacturer issues what is called an operator's manual. In that manual, there is information that is divided into two categories. One, operating instructions. Two, maintenance instructions. Essentially, what we learn from that is that if the vehicle is operated improperly or in a faulty manner, or if it is maintained in a faulty manner or improper manner, then that vehicle will have breakdowns. And why does the manufacturer provide these operators manuals? Basically, it wants to ensure that you have trouble-free use of your vehicle for the maximum length of time. That is, for the length of that vehicle. So it has a lifespan. Now the body is the same. In that car, if there is no battery, the car doesn't go. So in the human body, when the mitochondria breaks down, the body does not go. So I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this magnificent structure called the human body breaks down due to mitochondrial dysfunction. Now, I'm going to let experts talk to you about that. But we are going to learn today that just as Bob Marley sang, "Don't worry about a thing, every little thing is going to be all right." And we are finished with this presentation. You will learn that whatever goes wrong in the body, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. I leave you with this. The commonly known definition of insanity goes like this: you cannot expect to get different outcome if you keep doing the same thing in the same way. If you want something different, you must do something different. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to keep on getting what you have gotten. So today, after we finish here, you will become aware that there is hope, there is healing right here, because we have found the key, the secret to mitochondrial excellence, so that your body can be maintained in the way that the manufacturer or creator designed for it to be maintained and operated without disease, without sickness, without disrepair. And so I give you now the expert who will talk to you more about what happens to your body, why it happens, and how to make sure it stays operating in maximum efficient manner. Back to you, Dr. Clark.
Hey, great. Thank you so much, Professor Major, for telling us about the human cell, paving the way for this amazing presentation this evening. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of the way of greatness and present to you Dr. Samuels. Dr. Samuels holds a bachelor's degree in psychology. He also holds a bachelor's degree in theology, and he has a diploma in as an electronic technician. He's an accident and emergency physician, and he knows the human body to communicate information with you in a way that you are going to appreciate. Again, I say to you, call your neighbor, call your friend, call someone who may have issues in their tissues. Every nook and cranny from baby to granny need to hear this information. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I get out of word greatness, I present to you Dr. Samuels. Have you made it to the call, please, sir?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our More Mito call. We are getting ready to embark upon some quality information, and I hope by the end of this presentation, you will realize that there is hope. I was just looking at the cell here on the screen. So as Professor Major was talking about the mitochondria, which I'm circling right here, I was looking at this other organelle, the lysosome. This is the guy that really kills off a lot of the pathogens that come in the body. But like he said, if the mitochondria is not well, then the lysosomes will not be doing what they are supposed to do. So the mitochondria, as we look at it here, this is what it looks like. And in each of our cells, we have, some have hundreds, some have tens, depending on what it is that the cell does. It's going to be determined by the amount of mitochondria that it has. So the mitochondria, basically, for definition, is a membrane-bound cell organelle that generates most of the chemical energy needed to power the cell's biochemical reactions. So the chemical energy produced by the mitochondria, it is stored in a tiny molecule called ATP. Those of us who remember going to medical school and all of that and struggle with the Krebs cycle, as each cycle is just there to produce 2 ATP, it was a royal mess. So the mitochondria produces the energy that is necessary for the cell to survive and function. So it's twofold in what the mitochondria does. So the energy necessary for survival plus the energy necessary for functioning. Again, it's a powerhouse of the cell, and it's responsible for extracting energy from the food that we eat. And then this energy is released in the form of adenosine triphosphate. It is the energy currency. So it's like you need to spend some money or spend something. You need, so the currency that the body needs is produced by the mitochondria. So the mitochondria, then, it's the powerhouse of the cell, and it is the main site of ATP production. It also plays a vital role in calcium storage. A lot of people, as they age and get older, we realize that they lose calcium in the bone, and then they can develop osteoporosis and all kind of bone fracture problems. It is also necessary for apoptosis, controlled cell death. Cells supposed to live to a certain time, and then they're supposed to die in a natural way. We would prefer when they die from apoptosis and not from necrosis. It detoxifies liver cells and other cells as well. So in a nutshell, human being cannot survive without the mitochondria. So what happens to us when the mitochondria is low? We get stuff like mitochondrial diseases, and what going to happen after that, it's going to cause a vast array of health concerns, cardiovascular concerns. Let's talk about hypertension, but that's a cardiovascular problem. So a lot of people in our community are suffering from hypertension. And this is where a person has blood pressure, according to the American Medical Association, of say 140 systolic over over 90 diastolic. And that is provided you don't have diabetes. If you have diabetes, then it's going to be like 130 over 180. Folks, monitor your blood pressure because it could be in serious problems with it. So stuff like that's going to start happening to you. The other one we talk about is also diabetes. A person that has diabetes mellitus, they almost consider just like if they have serious heart problem. Insurance companies won't even touch persons like that. Neurological issues are going to start. You start having dizziness. You start having serious fatigue. It's like you wake up and you're having brain fog and all of that kind of stuff. Renal failure, people rush into the bathroom with urgency and emergency, and the kidney is not releasing what it's supposed to release, and it's not absorbing what it needs to absorb and stuff like that. And then we talk about GI issue, gastrointestinal issue. From your mouth to your anus, there is just one big hose right there. And there is about 30 feet of problems that you can have happening right there. When you look inside of look at the size of your tummy, and there is approximately 27 to 29 feet of intestine wrap up in there. Can you imagine the amount of places that tumors can hide? Can you imagine the amount of things that can go wrong in there, especially if the mitochondria is not working properly? Take, for example, your lungs. If you should take the lungs out of your chest and wrap them, because the lungs is basically layers and layers and layers of tissue. If you were able to unwrap the lung and spread it out, it would be the size of a tennis court. That is huge. How did God get to the point where he wrapped all of that in the chest? Only God could do it. So again, inside of your lungs, there is a lot of space for stuff to happen and to go wrong. We're having a lot of our young men now, 35 or even less than 40, and some of them even between 30 and 35 are coming to us with erectile dysfunction. A lot of females are having vision issues and infertility issues. Back in the day, we were complaining that it's our women who are not able to get pregnant because of block tubes and whatever. Yes, in some instances that was the case, but what we are finding out today is that a lot of our men have low sperm count. One of the major reasons we are finding out is our guys who are going out there and buying these fancy vehicles with this heated seat. God put the testicles outside the body for purpose. They're supposed to maintain a certain temperature. When you get them overheated and the temperature gets too high, there can be problems. Vision issues are going to also start developing. One of the things that's going to happen is that inflammation is going to develop. So when the mitochondria is low, inside of the cell, then inflammation can now start develop inside of the cell. And once inflammation is now developing, we're going to have stuff like cardiovascular disease, cancers like breast cancers, lung cancer, arthritis, and joint pain, allergies. My God, those of us in Canada living now, some people are dreading the next couple of weeks when the flowers and the trees start to blossom and stuff like that. Allergies is just going to be running rampant. Eye disorders, asthma, diabetes, Crohn's and colitis diseases, and all of that. People are developing these issues as they go from day to day as they age. So as folks begin to get into their third decade of life, it seems like the mitochondria is beginning to slow down and it's beginning to get depleted inside of the cell. And so once that starts to happen, then people start having issues. What we are looking at here is a vascular issue. This is the picture of a blood vessel. What it is basically here, what we're looking at here, we are looking at an artery. It can either be one that takes blood to the heart or one that takes blood to the brain. Now, what happened when these guys when you have the high blood pressure, what can happen now is that these can become damaged inside. They get damaged inside. And once they get damaged, what you think? Neutrophils show up first. And then after the neutrophils show up, here comes the cholesterol, and it's going to start developing cholesterol plaques. It is the desire of those things when the body launches an attack to repair these vessels, not to have them occluded. But like when you get a cut on your outside, what you notice happens sometimes it develops a scab. And so this is what is going on, but this is going on the inside. And then once these cholesterol plaques lodge to the walls of these vessels, they sit there and they continue to grow. Now, they are going to get to the point where they're going to be about, you won't even recognize it or feel the effects of it until it's about 70% occluded. And that's when you start having what we call angina or chest pain. And then when it gets to like 80%, then we have things like stable angina, unstable angina. And eventually it gets totally occluded. Once this gets totally occluded, guess what's going to happen? Anything distal, any tissues distal that was waiting on the good flow of blood in order to be oxygenated, the tissues are going to die. And that is what we call stroke. And that is what we call heart attack, myocardial infarction. So a lot of times this is going on inside of us and we don't even recognize it. But what happened, we'll explain it to you how we can actually reverse these conditions and get you back good and well. Remember, as we go through this presentation here, one thing you must keep in mind is that your organs inside your body, they are as old as you are. So basically, if you look at it, if you're 50, if you're 60, whatever age you are, your organs are just as old as you are. The heart, it started beating from week 16 of gestation, and so on and so forth. So how do we prevent or repair mitochondrial damage? This is the question. This is why you are here, and this is what we're going to explain to you. How do we prevent it? So our company is called MoreMito. Our formulator, Dr. Bevan Elliott, was able to develop two products, or two, what we refer to them as technology. We have number one, Ultra Mito Restore. How does it work? It works from the inside out. And it grows the mitochondria to increase the cellular level and to provide your body with the natural resources to do what? To restore, to regenerate, and to repair itself physically and emotionally. So this Ultra Mito Restore repairs your body from the cellular level, from the inside out. What about the Rejuvenate? Our topical gel now, it works from the outside in. It works on areas of specific concern. Highly recommended for anything that affects your hair, your scalp, or your skin. Any place on your body where in an unwanted way. So any effects. It also penetrates deep to affect tendons, ligaments, muscles, joints that may be experiencing discomfort, mobility issues, lack of feeling, or poor circulation. So our Ultra Mito Rejuvenate. So anything that you can see or feel, so if you feel it deep inside, if you can see it on your skin, you can actually rub this thing on it and it will get rid of it. So this is what the Ultra Mito Rejuvenate looks like. Ultra Mito Rejuvenate 2.0, and this is what the Ultra Mito Restore looks like. It comes in a bottle just like this, and we are going to go into how you use and apply them. Let's talk about Rejuvenate quickly. It uses natural ingredients that are amplified and driven deep into the cell and into the mitochondria using proprietary exponential delivery system technology. And then the Restore works from the inside out, growing mitochondria to increase cellular energy, providing your body with the nutritional resources to restore, rejuvenate, repair itself physically and emotionally. The XDS, the exponential delivery system, it's a delivery system unlike anything medicine has to offer. What do I mean by that? This system now allows the ingredients that are in these two products to get past your cellular lipid bilayers. So it gets into the cell, because the cells are made up of lipid, they are surrounded by the lipid bilayer. So you have to first able to get the ingredients into the cell. But it does not stop there. You now have to get the ingredients past the cell, get into the cytoplasm, find the mitochondria, and then also now gets into the mitochondria. Now, this is not like a nanotechnology or any of them stuff that you're out there hearing. This delivery system is proprietary to our company and the way that they delivers it. So think about if you have a chain link fence around your house. So this chain link fence, basically, if you take a couple of tennis balls and you try to force them through the fence, with some amount of effort, they will go through the fence. But then think about getting a handful of marbles, take them to the same chain link fence, and then you try get them through the fence. That is the XDS delivery system, unlike nothing we have seen. So not only does it goes into the cell past the lipid bilayer, but it gets into the cytoplasm after it gets into the cell. Again, finds the mitochondria, gets into the mitochondria with our proprietary products. And then now what it does, it gives the mitochondria a boost. It gives it a thud. And so the mitochondria now becomes powerful again because of the ingredients that has been placed in it. So the Restore then is an adaptogenic formulation method. What does it do? It promotes and stimulates free natural energy from the mitochondria that can outlast your longest day. Think about coming from work, you get home, or even at work, and at about 2 p.m. you have that drop. At 3 p.m. you feel that down, that lull, that kind of weight. Once you have these mitochondria back optimal, then you are going to be, you're not going to even feel that lull again. It enhances the brain's ability with vision, clarity, and focus to meet every single challenge. It's a mood enhancement and a chronic stress reduction. Man, I'm even hearing 14 and 13-year-old kids talking about how stressed out they are. Listen, you get deeper sleep and more restorative sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, it is when you're in your deep sleep that a lot of repair take place in your body. I was talking to a friend of mine who been on this technology for less than 2 weeks, and she was saying, "Listen, I used to have to get up even on Saturday and Sunday morning when I don't need to go to work, but now last couple of Saturdays ago, she slept until around 11 a.m. Nice deep sleep and waking up feeling well rested." So it offers cellular detoxification. Folks, one of the things that is going on, our cells are so toxic. And so when the mitochondria is not operating optimally, toxicity can develop in our cells. Immune system enhancement, anti-parasitic, anti-pathogenic support. It gives body-wide support from major organ system, and it enhances the ability of the body to manage itself and to maintain homeostasis. So we are not telling you that by taking our technology, it's going to heal your body. What it's going to do is going to get deep inside your cell, deep inside your mitochondria, get the body back into homeostasis. Once the body is balanced again, then the body can go ahead and heal itself. So here are some of the documented benefits of olive oil along with the black seed oil, which are the two major ingredients in our Ultra Restore product. There's excessive fatigue relief, healthy blood sugar support, healthy blood pressure support, heart and cardiovascular, and just general major organ support. So think about it. If you're even thinking about your respiratory system, there is support here for the lungs, there's support for the mouth, there's support for the trachea, there's support here for your nostrils. So you have full support for your organ systems. And there's full support also for the blood. You need to have clean blood, not dirty blood. Folks, weight loss. So much people are suffering from problems, having problems after problems, trying to lose this excess weight, especially what they call the love handles. Folks are losing weight in a healthy way. And here is the thing about losing weight in a healthy way with our product, is that you're not going to have all this sagging of the skin because it's losing it healthy. And then it's also pumping up the mitochondria and ensuring that there's no sagging of the skin. Anti-parasitic, as we mentioned before, anti-pathogenic, gets rid of viruses, bad bacteria, fungus, mold. And these are the kind of support that you have. Cholesterol improvement. We talk about the cholesterol where I showed you the picture of that blood vessel earlier. What happened is that when the mitochondria is operating at its best or is optimal, what happened? It is going to give glutathione a nice kickstart. And glutathione now being a cholesterol and metal chelator, it's going to go and attach itself to these cholesterol plaque and just remove them bit by bit over time. So all of a sudden you have no more chest pain, no more angina, and so on and so forth. Why is chest pain and angina so crazy and difficult for us, especially men? So as we age, and some of us men, and I was talking about it because of our food and our environment and all of that, we got a lot of men coming in with erectile dysfunction, and so they are using Viagra to assist them in the bedroom. Hear this: if you're taking medication, nitroglycerin for chest pain, and you might have forgotten that you have taken the nitroglycerin maybe a couple hours earlier, and now you have a partner and you get all excited because you take the Viagra and you don't have an erection, and all of a sudden you decide to get busy, you are going to die with a smile on your face, because between the nitroglycerin and the Viagra, your blood pressure is going to drop to something like 50 over 30. And yes, you might die. You might be happy, dead happy, but you will be dead. Immune response and support for stuff like arthritis, fibromyalgia, all those kind of immune response diseases, anything to do with low immune system, that those are what's going to happen when the mitochondria is low. It is especially important, our product here, of those who are experiencing extreme energy deficit from the effects of medication. Some of the medication we take, they actually destroy the mitochondria. And the other thing, as we talk about the mitochondria here, the mitochondria's DNA is more potent and it outlasts the DNA of the nucleus. And this mitochondrial DNA is the one that the mitochondrial DNA is the one you get directly from your mother. This has nothing to do with your daddy. The mitochondrial DNA comes directly from your mother. If you have athletes thriving for extreme performances, they can take this stuff without have to worry about water banning them. Those who are in occupations that require problem-solving abilities, so you're working and you have to, your analytical skills need to kick in and all of that, it works well. Working moms and dads, so the first who help out at home and not just leave the wife to do all the cooking and the cleaning and all of that stuff. You need a little energy boost. Here, this is going to keep your energy optimal. Or anyone who just wants to be as healthy as they can be. Try Restore and launch a rescue mission for yourselves and just watch things start coming together for you. How do you take the Restore? The recommended dose is 4 milliliters per day. We recommend a loading dose. Usually when a patient comes to the ER, what we do, we calculate their weight, and we give them, once we decide how much fluid they need, we give them a loading dose, and this is supposed to take a period of time. The loading dose is usually more than the maintenance dose. So we're saying here, we give you a loading dose of 4 milliliters per day, and then after that, you can just take it daily. You can take it on an empty stomach. It's just the way you take it. It's not even worry about taking it with food or what. So we say take a loading dose, double up, triple up for your first 2 to 3 days, and you will see great results. How quickly does it work? Well, it depends again. Some folks see results within hours, some in days or weeks. In some instances, signs that the body is detoxifying. What are some of the signs that the body is detoxifying? You might go to the washroom and you realize, oh my God, I need to use a plunger to get rid of whatever is going on with me. I was listening to a testimonial from one lady as we talk about signs that the body is detoxifying. And she said that she put this thing, because we're going to explain how to use it, but you were saying that she put it in her navel, and she rubbed it in her navel, her belly button, as some folks know it as. And she said that, she put it in there in the night before she went to bed, and then she woke up early morning and had to go to the washroom. She was like, this time it's not to pee, it's about in the 4 or 5 a.m. She had to go to the washroom to do a number 2, and she said it was so much And then, she went back to bed and woke up around 6 o'clock and, to get ready to get her daily chores and get ready for work and all of that. And as she got into the washroom, she felt like she wanted to go again. So she went again and a whole lot came out again. And then she felt that she was empty, decided that she's going to get up and go have her shower. And then, boom, she got to sit back down because there was another big amount that just came out. So within like 2 hours, she had 3 bowel movements and it was not a pretty sight. But who cares? Get rid of that stuff. Because you see a lot of people with their big bellies and stuff like that. If you know, they probably have megacolon. Sometimes when we go to the theater and we're going to do some type of surgery where we have to open up the patient, we look at the colon and we are wondering how under God's heaven we're going to get that thing back into that small space. Sometimes we have to do something to get rid of some of the stool, and then getting rid of that stool, you'll see parasites and all kind of crap coming out of it. So again, as I was saying, sometimes you will see signs that detoxification is being done. You might even feel a little bit more sleepy because when we are withdrawing toxins from your body, it can make you a little bit jolty for the first couple of days. But after that, you're good to go. So persons who have complex health situations, including ones that you're taking medication and other supplements, might need to be a little bit more patient. The conventional wisdom when you're taking nutraceutical products is to give it at least 3 months. But in our work here, what we are seeing is that folks are getting great results. So these are the products that involved that are in this in our Ultra Restore. The number one, there's 2 main products: extra virgin olive oil and the black seed oil. So these are the main 2 products that are in there. And we found out that there is one ingredient in the black seed oil that is 6 times more potent than CoQ10. If you watch your TVs and stuff, a lot of people advertising CoQ10 and all of that. But almost everything that you need is in this Ultra Restore product. L-thiamine, we got that in there. We got maca root extract. Who knows what maca, the main ingredient? The main ingredient in Viagra is actually maca. So cellular seed extract and so on and so forth. You can look them up and see what their medical benefits are. Now, when we get to the Ultra Mito or the Ultra Mito Rejuvenate now is great for anything that causes you to itch, to scratch, to break out, or anything that irritates. So, joint pain and discomfort, yes, Ultra Rejuvenate. Random bumps and breakouts, Ultra Rejuvenate. Fine lines, wrinkles, sunburns, or sun damage, even if it's been decades old, any kind of burn, any kind of cuts or bruises, any kind of insect bite, dandruff, and any other scalp issues. Scars, moles, warts, skin tags, it's a natural deodorant, folks. And as we talk about natural deodorant, I remember a few years ago, we used to have a lot of folks in our churches selling this Avon product. Everybody, you see a whole bunch of books, people sign up, and we used to go crazy for the 99-cent roll-on. What they're finding out and are saying now is that some of the ingredients in that roll-on is potentially carcinogenic, causing people to have like lymph node cancers. So it is good for hairstyling. A lot of our persons up here, I like in Canada where I'm at, go through these terrible winters with those minus 10, 5, 15-degree temperatures, and it just damages your hair. Remember, now you get this technology into your hair, and all of a sudden you realize that it starts repairing it, so you don't have to be running out to the hairdresser to cut off those damaged ends and all of that kind of stuff. So it's really good for that. Foot care. Persons who are having problems with their feet, like from diabetic neuropathy and all of that. We heard a testimonial of a gentleman who went to visit his friend after about 18 years, and he had not felt anything in his hands for years. And so when he went there, his friend began to rub this rejuvenate on his hand, and he said within minutes, he began to feel some feeling in his hand. This gentleman hadn't tied his shoelace to go to church or put on his tie and anything like that for years. His wife used to do that for him. And within days, he's able to tie his own shoelace. He's being able to put on his own tie, button his own shirt. Some of these are some of the crazy stuff that are happening out there. Sore eyes and tired eyes. There are folks who are giving testimonials that they don't even need to wear their eyeglasses no more, and they put this thing on their eyelid, and all of a sudden the place get bright, even like somebody has turned on the lights. Do you suffer from sinusitis? Just put it up your nose, inhale it, sniff it, and it will help you with that. So whatever the pain is, headache, neck ache, shoulder ache. Before we had the presentation this evening, I was talking to a pastor friend of mine, and he was telling me that I think the little boy's around 9 years old or something like that, whatever the age is. And he was just having this headache for a couple of days. So I said to him, put it in his forehead, put it behind his ear, put it behind the other ear, and rub a little bit in his head. And he called me back in half an hour and he said, the boy is outside jumping and skipping. Folks, this thing works. So when you have stuff like discomfort in your feet and your hands, it is good for that. There are folks who are waking up at night or even from a regular nap and they have this burning sensation in their feet. Usually it's folks who are diabetic. And so this is good for that. Whatever exercise related injuries you have, this is great for that. Muscle strains and contusion, this is awesome for all of that. So if you want to have fresher, younger looking skin, it is great. At the age of 3 years old, I fell off a donkey. I was a little boy. That's what I was told, that I was 3 years old. I had this gash in my forehead. It's about a 1/4 inch in diameter. Last night, while I was flying from Calgary to Toronto, I was in the plane just sitting back thinking about this product, and I was feeling my forehead, and I'm like, my God, my forehead feels like, in Jamaica we say, a baby's bottom, nice and smooth. But then my finger ran over where this indentation was in my forehead. Folks, I can tell you without a word of a lie, this thing is less than 1.5 millimeters thick, and I was not using it for that. Had I known it would have happened, I would have taken a before and after picture. For folks who have all kind of pain and discomfort, we're finding that this thing works great for pain and discomfort, our technology. Those who want to sharpen their vision and get quick relief from eye strains. There's some of this dry eye stuff and all of that. Why are your eyes dry? It is because we're not answering questions now, so please hold your hand down until we're going to get to the question and answer section. So folks who have dry eyes, guess what? There are cells in your eyes. There are mitochondria in those cells. Once we get the mitochondria right, those dry eye business is going to be gone. Those who want to pursue a vigorous athletic workout routine, once we get the mitochondria right, that's going to work out well. Listen, for folks who just want to be healthy as they can possibly be and get rid of emotional stress and physical discomfort, rejuvenate. How do you take the rejuvenate? You thoroughly massage it into and around the affected area. Reapply multiple times per day as needed. Continue to use even after the discomfort is gone for a more complete recovery. Rejuvenate can be used topically in combination with the Ultra Mito. So what we are recommending is that when you order and get your products, what you do, you take about a 3/4 teaspoon of the Restore and you put it in the Rejuvenate bottle. Shake it up and stir it up. So the Rejuvenate looks like Vaseline. And then now, when you put that especially on your face and all of that, you are going to realize how efficacious it is. We are hearing testimonials of persons who had ringing in their ears, tinnitus, and all of a sudden, 3-4 days, the ringing is gone. Persons who were not seeing properly, all of a sudden they're seeing even without reading glasses anymore. Folks, this technology is absolutely amazing. you'll get a nice glow on your skin. Now, again, for some issues, results are seen within minutes, hours, days. Other issues like skin abnormalities, moles, warts, and them kind of stuff, it's going to take a little bit longer, but they are going to get dropped off. So again, you're going to find results of detoxifying. For those of you who have constipation issues and all of that, rub it in your navel. I'm just going to speak to you as a clinician. I'm not even going to pull the foolishness. So once you go, you have your shower, your anus is clean, you just rub some of it there, and within days, all of that constipation problem is going to be taken care of. We had a testimony of a gentleman who was getting ready to go do surgery for his colon cancer. He rubbed the combination, he combined it, rubbed it on his anus over a 3-week period. When he went back, the tumors were gone, like just gone. We had another gentleman who had not peed for over 9 years because he was on dialysis. And after about a month or so on our technology, guess what? He felt the urge to go pee. He ran to the bathroom, he peed, and he was doing dialysis 3 times a week. Last week he was down to 1 time per week, and he's peed. Again, conventional wisdom is to allow at least 3 months to give the nutraceutical product a fair shot. These are the ingredients that are in our Ultra Mito Rejuvenate. And if you notice, these things are extremely, extremely powerful stuff. Again, you can take a pic and go ahead and research them for yourself. So Dr. Elliott, who's our research person, he indicates that what affects health the most is the health of the mitochondria. You literally can be your healthiest, can't be your healthiest unless your mitochondria are at their best. So if the health of the mitochondria can be improved and you have more mitochondria that are bigger, more energetic, and overall healthy, your overall health can be improved. So folks, what are we saying? We have mitochondria in our cells. They are the powerhouse. They are the batteries. But as we age, the power, their ability to perform is reduced. This technology that we have with the black seed oil and the olive oil and the leaves of these 2 trees, they are the ingredients that can actually re-energize and power up the mitochondria. Problem was, back in the day, medicine did not know how to do that, how to get it in the cell. Because remember, you got to pass the lipid bilayer of the cell, and then you got to pass even a tinier lipid bilayer of the mitochondria. The XDS technology has now been launched, and it is going right through the cell wall, right through the mitochondrial wall, and then just going right in, powering up the mitochondria, and so that the mitochondria can now start taking care of you. Get your mitochondria right and watch your body rebuild, restore, and rejuvenate. How do you get your mitochondria? How do you get started? Get back to the person that invited you. Get their personal website. Sign up as a referring customer. No cost to you. Order your technology, your product, and do what? Tell. Help others get healthy physically, mentally, and emotionally. Dr. Carl, back to you, sir. Dr. Clive.
Hey, look at that. Look at that. That's why we always have to have the fire department on standby while you were on fire. Dr. Samuels, thank you for speaking the truth. I heard a scientist once said, if we are going to help people, we have to tell them the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, when they come to this call, you're going to hear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. God is going to help us. So thank you, Dr. Samuels. We're going to have you back in a few minutes to speak to questions and answers. So for persons who may have questions, get your fingers ready to raise your hand and the digital hand, and we are going to get the questions going. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Now, the CEO of this company is Mr. Roger Hill. I don't have time to tell you about all the three wise men who started the company, but Mr. Roger Hale will give an idea. Birds of a feather flocks together. Roger Hale worked for NASA. Roger was always the brightest guy in the class. He's a mathematician. He's good at what he does. And he working along with the guys at NASA are responsible for sending things out of space, different type of expeditions and so on. Pentagon heard about this mathematical genius, and Pentagon went to NASA and said, Mr. Hill, you are now working for us. We need you. The Army needs you. The Navy needs you. The country needs you in this respect. And you worked there for many years. If the president is in the room, the vice president, the hierarchy of the American government, the five-star generals of all the Navy, the Army, and so on is there, guess who is speaking? Mr. Roger Hale. He is the man with the plan. He is the information guru, and he's giving instructions to person and updating the American hierarchy about what is what and what is not. Now, when he had issues with his health, he used that same genius to team up with Dr. Bevan Elliott to start this amazing company. So, ladies and gentlemen, man, there is genius in the room. We have genius in the company. It's going to be the next multi-billion-dollar company. You want to get in where you fit in. You want to use the product, look good, feel good, look younger, feel longer, look and feel younger, and live longer. So we have something we're offering to you. Don't continue to live with what you're struggling with. Utilize the power of restoring your mitochondria back to good health. Now, we're going to have a testimony right now from Lady Myrna Richardson. Lady Richardson, will you be kind enough to open your microphone and tell us what benefit you got from this amazing technology? Are you on the call, Lady Richardson? Please open the microphone and say hello. Can you do that now? Are you able to open the microphone? Lady Myrna Richardson?
Good evening, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Go ahead for me. Thank you.
I have so many, I really don't even know where to start, but I'll start with the one that got the attention, which was that I got a product from, I was introduced by Miss Annette Gums, who was introduced by you to these products, and I received it on Thursday evening. That was Holy Thursday, and I use the products after listening to the testimonies of others. I use the product, the Rejuvenate, sorry. I use the Rejuvenate sample that she gave me. I applied it to my forehead, my eyes. I massaged it along my temples, a little bit of under my feet and inside of my belly button. And the following day when I woke up, I was very thirsty. I went to the bathroom and I had a serious bowel movement. So after finishing, I decided I was going to take a shower and then I would go back to bed since I didn't have to work the following day, which was Good Friday. On my way back to bed, I drank another cup of water and then I went and I lay down, and I had to repeat the same procedure again, go back to the bathroom. So within the space of 20 minutes, I had 3 solid bowel movements. After that, I showered again and I went back to lay down. I fell asleep again and I had a good rest. I was well rested and I can say the product really works. I am very excited about this product. Thank you.
Okay, all right. We save some until Friday night again when we have this opportunity to share again, because we just want to give a small amount so people can understand that the products do work. And the best way to know if it works, get it into your body. Now, I heard Joyce said, after the doctors gave up on my mother, our family was planning for a funeral. We gave her Restore. You hear this last one now. I had high blood pressure, diabetes, a heart attack, and my kidneys were starting to fail. Then I tried Restore. Say no more. What's going to be your story? Now, we're going to give a moment right now for a few questions to be answered by the Dr. Samuel. So if you would like to get a question answered, will you raise your hand? Thank you. And Dr. Samuels, will they come back to the microphone and let us help to answer some person's question, about 5 or so questions if that's necessary. So anybody who will be the first to ask a question of Dr. Samuels, please, and thanks. Dr. Samuels, is there any questions in the chat room that can you see? Can you see?
There's
somebody.
a couple of hands. There's a hand that is raised. Go ahead, Kayeta Boros.
Borrows. Go ahead. Let's just brother Borrows, rather.
Good night.
Yeah,
I
good night.
I have a question in terms of like if you depending on what I guess what your issue is or your situation is, how long is the healing process or how long does it take for you to see results after using the product?
Well, it varies for everybody, but as like I said in the presentation, some persons see results within minutes, some hours, some days, some weeks. But here is what you're going to find out, and here's what we ask also. We recommend that you also you commit yourself to at least 90 days to give this technology to get into your over 70 trillion cells. But what you're going to find out also is that you may be looking for one major thing that is going on, but you're going to find out that other little things are going to be fixed as you go. So that is how it works. So it's not just so we're taking care of one thing, but the one thing that we are taking care of is fixing many things.
Okay, but I have one more question. Are there any side effects like, let's say for example, I may have rheumatoid arthritis or whatever. Are there side effects that when I start taking the product, am I going to feel any extra pain or anything like that?
Okay, so your first couple of days, you might feel some extra pain when toxins are being drawn out of your system, but after that, because the products are all 100% natural, so the first couple of days when you're being detoxified and stuff, you might feel that, but don't stop. Just give it a couple of more days, and then everything will balance out.
Okay, good. Thanks for the questions. Now we have some other hands raised. I'm seeing Diana McIntyre Pike. Lady Diana, would you be kind enough to open the microphone and ask a question of Dr. Samuels, please? Thank you. Are you able to open the microphone? Thanks.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead, Fun. Thanks.
I'm trying to do it.
I'm here. We are hearing you. We are hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to ask a question in relation to a situation that I had an eye inflammation in October, and the doctor put me on steroids for 3 months, and it gave me a lot of side effects. I came off it in mid-February. I told him I don't want any more steroids. They want me to keep on it because they said other organs could be affected. And I said, no way, I don't wish to have any more steroids. But I've had a lot of side effects. So I want to find out now whether this product can help us to get rid of the side effects, because I hear it's going to take a while to get rid of it.
No, well, here is the thing.
Sorry?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, so here's what happens. Once your mitochondria is restored, we're going to get rid of 3 things out of your body. We're going to get rid of free radicals, we're going to get rid of oxidative stress, and we're going to get rid of inflammation. These guys are the mother of all sicknesses and diseases. So the product is all natural, so there's going to be no interaction. And like we said, because these are stuff that your body actually need and already have in them, there is going to be no side effects.
Okay.
Okay, great. Is that it, Lady?
Yes.
Thank you so much for opening the microphone, asking that question. We'll be in touch with you. Thank you so much. Is there any other hand raised? Any other question to the doc? Okay, if not,
there's one more thing I'd like to show, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Let me just do that quickly because this question seems to be coming. And come on. Oh my God. I'm trying to get out of here. Give me 1 sec.
Oh, you're looking at the room, Doc?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Okay, so I'm out now. What I wanted to show was this here.
Okay.
So somebody's asking how I get the product. The person that invites you to the call, they are gonna have their personal website like this that they're going to share with you. It's gonna say moremito.com and it's gonna slash their name. So once they send this to you, you are going to click on it. And then now, so once you click on it, then you can go to where it says shop more Mito. And then you click on people's health product. There's also for pet. So if you have, we'll talk about that, I guess, some more on Friday. So when you click here, I'm just gonna take 2 minutes and go through this. So when you click here, we go log in and you click shop more Mito, we go to people product. Then you scroll all the way down. We're not gonna hide anything from you because you have to see what you're getting into. And so we go buy now. So when we click on buy now, we go back down to the bottom here. Just give me a couple of minutes. We'll share this with you quickly. So if you want to get just one product, you want to get just the Rejuvenate. The Rejuvenate is $60. The Ultra Restore is $110. This is like a month supply or so. However, the company has bundled them. So for example, what is happening now? Bundle number 1. This is bundle number 1. So if you buy 1 Restore, 1 Rejuvenate, that's going to cost you $150. But as a welcome gift, the company is also going to give you a second bottle of Rejuvenate. So you're going to get 2 Rejuvenate and 1 Restore. And so that is what it is going on here. So you get them at different levels. If you want to tell people and help them, and you heard folks talking about the samples that they get, and that is like bundle number 2. So you get 1 Restore, a big jar of Rejuvenate, and 12 small jars of the Rejuvenate that you can pass out as samples. So that is how you get it. So the person that invites you to the call, get back to them, and then they will send you their website, and then you can actually go ahead and do your and make your purchase. Back to you, Dr. Clark.
Hey, great information. All right, I think there was another question in the chat. Let me go back to the chat and see what we're looking at.
Somebody was asking, is it good for fibroids? And so
Yeah.
once you get your website, or if you even go to moremito.com and you're looking at you're going to the testimonials. Yes, there are great testimonials in there. Because one of the things we're finding out that's happening to our folks after they start having their period and stuff is that they are now having these long periods, 10, 15, 16 days. So now, and that is usually because of the fibroids. You get the technology in your body, it gets into the uterus, take care of all of that stuff that's going on in there. And like I said, give it a couple of 2 to 3 months and watch this reverse all of the issues that you
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man, I heard somebody say that they had a problem where they went to the doctor, gave them a supply of medication for 1 year, and they use this product and see results in 3 months. So we say to people, bless it and take it, see what results you get, because this is a result-oriented product. Ladies and gentlemen, mankind has never been this far before. Doc, you might remember the Star Wars movie. Somebody come on TV and they were in the Starship Enterprise. You remember that? And they were
you mean Star Trek?
Star Trek, and they were
No.
going all out of space doing different things. In a sense, we are in the Starship Enterprise, not going out of space, we are going inner space. We are going to the very belly of the cell. We are looking around the organelles in the cell. We are seeing the mitochondria where mankind has never been before, and we are able to get nutrients to the mitochondria Oh, happy day. We have found the mitochondria, the seat of healing, the seat of your energy, the seat of power, and the seat of wellness and well-being and happiness in your body. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a good place, and you have a front row seat to greatness. Now, as the person was saying, get back to the person who invited you to this call, because the next call we're going to have is on Friday night. This coming Friday night is the 26th, 7:30, just like tonight's call. Bring a family member, bring a friend. It's going to be a catawampus time because the doctor again will be in the house. We say to you, take the More Mito 90-day back to health challenge. See what can happen to your body in 90 days. If doctors give you 30 days, take the More Mito and you might get 90, should I say years, or at least months, but something is going to happen. Life extension. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring this call to a close. We thank Professor Major for sharing. We thank Dr. Samuels for sharing and caring. And thank you for coming, asking the questions. If you were shy to ask them on Friday evening. We will be back, the Lord tarries. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, Mr. Wonder Townsend, for providing the opportunity for us to be on this Zoom call. And I just want to give God thanks for all that he has done tonight. There is a new scope of hope for you to cope. I wanted to get back to the person who invited you to this call and factor yourself in. More Mito to the world. God bless you. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.